We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. In this world, there's room for everyone, and the good earth is rich. The way of life can be free and beautiful, but we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls. We think too much and feel too little. We need humanity.
I remember my stepfather, would beat me, and he would beat me with extension cords and hangers and, pieces of wood and all kinds of stuff. And, after every beating, he would tell me, it hurt me more than it hurt you. And, I only did it because I love you. It was kind of, it communicated the wrong message to me about what love was. And so for many years, I thought that love was supposed to hurt. And I hurt everyone that I loved. And I measured love by how much pain someone would take from me. And it wasn't until I came to prison in an environment that is devoid of love that I began to have some sort of understanding about what it actually was and was not. And I met someone, and she gave me my first real insight into what love was, because she saw past my conditions and the fact that I was in prison with a life sentence for murder, and not only for murder, but for doing the worst kind of murder that a man can do, murdering a woman and a child. And it was Agnes, the mother and grandmother of Patricia and Chris, the woman and child that I murdered, who gave me my best lesson about love, because by all rights, she should hate me. But she didn't. And over the course of time and through the journey that we took, that's been pretty amazing. She gave me love. She taught me what it was.
Moment, and the reason his face is always going to be with me. There was a moment when he looked at me, and our eyes kind of met, and at that moment, it was like everything else disappeared. There was no sound, and it was just two people looking each other in the eyes, and just for a moment connecting as like two human beings in an event that is beyond any of their control. But at that moment, he wasn't a terrorist, he wasn't an insurgent, he wasn't an Iraqi. He was a scared man, and he was asking me for help. From that moment on, the war changed for me. It became a little more scary, and it became a little more, I started to question decisions a little more. Because of that event, it put a face. That scared, crying man peeing himself could be any or all of them.
There's so much hatred in the world. Why people have to kill? Why nations and communities and ethnic groups can't get on with each other? Why everyone thinks they're better, or their church is better, or their religion is better, or their way of life is better.
I am gay, and I've liked girls ever since I was a little girl. I kept it a secret from my family, and I asked my dad, "Dad, what is gay?" And he goes, "It's a girl who likes another girl and they're going to hell." And so I said, "Okay." And I walked straight up to my room, closed the door very quietly, and then I bawled my eyes out into my pillow, and I prayed to God every day, please let me like boys. I tried pretending I liked boys and stuff, but I never did. And then I met, to me, the love of my life. And her name was Jen. And gosh, it was just like my world changed. And I didn't really care about anything else. I just knew I wanted to be near her. And that was love to me.
The most difficult experience I've had in my life is, I think, losing my father. I remember he only died recently, and he was such an important person to me. So I think, he taught me how to live and enjoy life. He died in my arms. And I remember just before he died feeling this coolness, the warmth of his body just disappearing, and this coolness just enveloping it. And he just died, and it was just like, part of him leaving his physical body. And it just, for me, it was just a little moment, just seeing how precious life is and how meaningful we all are to each other.
de toda mi vida el fallecimiento de mi papá. Porque pues... quiero llorar. Fue con el que me apoyaba mucho. Era el que pues nos sacaba adelante a mis hermanos y a mí.
I'm not afraid of dying. I don't know if God exists or not, but I choose to believe. And when I look at the universe, I hope there's a place where our spirits can go and where we'll recognize each other. And as well as my parents, I would really love to meet again my best friend Shawnee, who died when he was 21. And I'd love to spend time with him, hitchhiking through heaven as we used to do as youth here on earth. I also would love to meet the many good people throughout the generations who tried to make a better world and who tried to work for a world of justice and peace. For me, that's what's most important. And indeed, when we look at the great religions and philosophies and ideologies, and when we try to simplify the complex dogmas and theologies, it all comes down to love. So I hope my spirit is taken up in a great ballet and a great cosmic dance of love, where there's no more suffering and there's no more sorrow, where we can no longer hurt or be hurt, and where we can truly celebrate the great gift of consciousness, the great gift of being, the great gift of life. And if, in the end, there is no God, I'm still thankful for the gift of life. I've often thought the last two words I would like to utter just before I die are thank you. Thank you for the gift of life.
We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. In this world, there's room for everyone, and the good earth is rich. The way of life can be free and beautiful, but we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls. We think too much and feel too little. We need humanity.
Magic moment that I had with my grandfather was right after my grandmother died. And I went to go see him, and I knew that he was hurting, but I wasn't sure what kind of state he would be in. And she was his partner 65 years, as well as his driver. And I went to see him and said, "Grandpa, how are you doing?" He said, "Did you know that for $4 I can get a shuttle anywhere in the city?" I was like, "Wow, that's great, Grandpa." And he said, "Well, I went to Save On, I went to the grocery store and went to the woman behind the counter and said, I have this list of things, could you help me find them? My wife has recently changed her residence to heaven." And I said, "Grandpa, man, you always help me see the glass is half full." And he leaned back and he looked me in the eyes and he said, "It's a beautiful glass."